Sales isn't about just pushing a product in all cases. There are some times when the prospect needs information, good advice, and maybe even recommendations in making a purchase. This is where the salesperson becomes the consultant, and we have the consultative approach. The salesperson makes the effort to actually listen to the client, learn as much as possible about his or her needs, and then help make a good decision. Consultative selling is based on figuring out the client's problem and then finding a solution. In this unit, we'll take up the characteristics of the consultative sales presentation, how you can use questions to determine a client's needs, the selection of best solutions, needs satisfaction presentation strategies, and general guidelines for creating value-added presentations. Let's begin with the characteristics of the consultative sales presentation. What we have is a four-part process: need discovery, selection of a solution, satisfying needs through informing, persuading, or reminding, and the final step, servicing the sale. In the needs discovery, we spend time with the client to learn the situation he or she faces. Now, we need this information before we can approach a solution. General conversation plays a role. Some successful salespeople actually devise questionnaires to help a prospect identify a need and approach a solution. Often you can just keep asking and let the answers lead to the next question until you actually get the information you require. The second step is the selection of a solution, the best answer to the customer's need. It's important here that the salesperson be up on all possible product or service choices, even the competitors. The client may well depend on the salesperson to actually make the best recommendation. Our third step is to meet a needs satisfaction through informing, persuading, or reminding. We're now beyond the question phase, and the salesperson will get into making statements. Now, these statements are intended to let the client know what the best products or services are. And the fourth step is servicing the sale. The salesperson keeps in contact with the client to make sure things are fine with the service or the product, to deal with any complaints, and to help make things right, and any other follow-up that might be necessary. Now let's now take a closer look at the need discovery process and activities that create value. Would you want a doctor to hand you a prescription or begin by doing an operation on you without finding out first what your problem is or what your ailment is? Well, it's also important that the salesperson discover the client's need. This is where asking questions is so important. Always have some pre-planned questions ready at the first meeting. Then the various answers can lead to the next questions that will help you zero in on a solution. There's the survey, which usually starts with some general information questions about the client's business, market conditions, existing situations, and the like. Once these questions are answered, we can begin moving into specific questions to help identify a problem or an issue and why the client is dissatisfied with the current situation. You can use a couple of kinds of questions: the closed question that can be answered with a yes or no, and the open-ended question, which encourages the customer to expand and start talking on his or her own. There are also the probing questions designed to help the salesperson fully understand the problem. In other words, I feel your pain. Yeah, sometimes these can be referred to as implication questions, which are much more focused than the general survey questions. These types of questions help you and the customer actually reach mutually understandable situations. We then have the confirmation questions. These are basic restatements of the question and their answers to make sure that you and the client both see things the same way and that all of the information is accurate. For instance, do we agree that this is the situation? They're the "if I understand you, I want to be sure," and the "did you say that" questions. Finally, our fourth type is need satisfaction questioning. These questions move the process forward to finding the actual solution to the client's problem. For instance, how much better will things be if you had this product or service? Or what can you save with this much money? Well, it's even common that by the time we follow the entire process to get to this point, the best solutions may become obvious. Focus your full attention on what the client is saying. Once the client is finished speaking, it's a good idea to paraphrase what he or she said. Take notes. This is one of the best ways of showing that you're actually listening. And don't be afraid to go back and ask for clarification. Now we move into the next phase, selecting solutions that add value. You've asked all the questions and gathered all the information, and you and the client have a mutual understanding of the need. Here's where you start narrowing down possible actions to get the most desired results. So let's match specific benefits with buying motives. What's good about this and why do I want to do it? Then configure a solution. This is where the choices of products or services come into play. Make appropriate recommendations. Present the benefits and explain why they're appropriate to meeting the need or solving the problem. It's possible the customer will buy at that point, or maybe will buy with a bit more explanation. Then there can even be those cases where the salesperson doesn't have what the client needs and should actually recommend that a client buy a product or a service from another provider, possibly even a competitor. Now, sometimes this can demonstrate integrity and may even lead to the client being so impressed that he or she will come back and be a customer sometime in the future. Now let's get into some need satisfaction presentation strategies. We have 3 of them. There's the information presentation strategy. Generally, you're dealing with the facts and figures of a product, so be clear, simple, and direct. The key is, don't say too much. Then there's the persuasive strategy. This is designed to influence the buyer when there's a genuine need or when the buyer is at a point when he or she can be convinced that this is the time to act on meeting that real need. Here's when the enthusiastic sales presentation is often the way to go. Finally, we have the reminder presentation strategy. This takes place after the buyer is already a customer. As part of servicing the sale, the salesperson will make continued contacts to serve as a reminder for future business and even inform the customer of new products or services that may be coming out and are available. Remember that all persuasive presentation strategies need to create value. Place special emphasis on the relationship. Present specific benefits and make sure you get the customer reactions to them. People don't buy things, they buy what the things can do for them. Deal with change and minimize any negative impacts of change. When you're driving, for instance, you will turn with the road. Well, the same goes with life. Change is part of life and we have to deal with it no matter how uncomfortable. Make sure the customer understands the benefits and that they are not threats. What's in it to benefit the customer? Place your strongest appeal at the beginning or end of the presentation. And look for those emotional links to the customer. Bigger market share, more sales, more money, better service, and so on. You can also make good use of stories about others who have purchased a product and what it did for them. And there's the tried and true testimonial. Get someone to speak out about what a product or service did for him or her. So a few general guidelines for value added in that presentation. Use an effective demonstration, the product itself if you can. Pre-plan for negotiating and closing the sale. Make the most efficient use of time. Keep it concise and present focused solutions. Look for customer service methods that add value. A good consultative approach gives the customer more satisfaction. You get more sales, fewer cancellations, more repeat business, and more referrals.